big of a dog I am. It's time for the derailment, and I'm gonna be that fucking guy. She was like, lock that door. He's gonna bust that door down. And we heard the truck pull up and wiggle on the door, and we just brought our bags of baseball stuff in. I pulled one out, I fucking spun it up, I threw it at my buddy, and then I pulled one out. I said, on the count of three, we're gonna open this fucking door. And my mom was begging, no. And when we opened that door, I never wanted my kids to see that. And that's the reasoning and the person I am today is because it's enduring all of that stuff. And that will not be shown to my kids.
What makes a good father?
Man. There's just times where I don't put myself in that category if I've made bad decisions. Not a lot of people know. I've got my family evicted out of a place before. Is it cool to talk about? Fuck no. Dude, fuck no. With tears in my eyes, I know I did it, so I know I'm not a bad dad.
Where'd you grow up? Where's the start for Daniel Boyer?
Probably, I call it down south, southern Missouri. It's the Boot Hill of Missouri. If you look at the map, the only part that's really not necessarily in Arkansas, in that area, is the Boot Hill. I was born in Poplar Bluff, raised in Dexter, not too far from Poplar Bluff. My family, my mother ran into some troubles, ended up getting into foster care while I was down there. So basically, to get my mom to get out of jail, to get us out of foster care, we had to come north. And I started my life basically in first grade, kindergarten up here, remember? Up in Pacific, Lee Summit, Missouri, at my grandfather's house.
Started your life? What do you mean by that?
I remember everything, I guess you could say, up to a certain age. But where everything started lining up, learning how to ride a bike for my grandfather, in the backyard, digging trenches, playing the sports, grandpa teaching me everything. And then basically my mom working her way back into our lives, as we were kids, because, one, that's her job, but two, as growing up, you'd always hear, grandpa always said, you better get your shit together, come get your kids. These aren't my kids, and that's, some of the stories I've always heard growing up. I've never really asked those questions to my grandfather or my mother. There's just a lot of questions I like to ask, and I'm 30 years old. I want to know, why, what took so long for you to come and get us? Was it this, was it that? Just be honest. But that's where my life started. My path of becoming of the man I am today was up in Zitzman. That's that school I went to, Zitzman in Lee Summit, Missouri.
My parents struggled, but they didn't. I never noticed them struggling. Did you notice a struggle going on in your life?
I'd have to say, probably around first grade, second grade. So I went to school out there in kindergarten, and I started first grade. And then that's when we moved, and my mother ended up getting custody of me and my brother, my older brother. There's two of us between my brother, and there's five of us. To clear everything up, there's five of us total between my dad, but there's two of us between my mother. So I remember first grade, we moved to High Ridge, and I can remember every single thing we went through, the struggles, the ups, the downs, the highs, everything from first grade in High Ridge.
How did that shape you if you look at yourself today?
Seeing the things I've seen, a lot of people know, I don't have to say something to boost my charismatic or people to like me. I don't do that. You like me or you don't. But a lot of people in my life know where I came from, what I had to go through, being a mother with single two kids, growing up. There's times where, having to put a blanket over the hallway, turn the oven on, I'm not proud of it. But you have to survive. There's times where, your mother has to choose which bill to pay. And it's like, okay, well, she made the right choices. But now her making those right choices, me growing up, I know when to make right decisions and wrong, not to make the wrong decision, excuse me. But the thing is watching her make those decisions, seeing all those stories unfold in front of me made me want to do and made me not do the things today. And I mean, like I said, being the youngest of 5, the youngest of 2, I've seen it all. I didn't get told the details, why this, why that, but I had eyes, I had ears, but and that's where I am today, 30 years old, wanting to know those questions. Why my father decided to walk away, from my mom when my mom's, they had their little knip fit, whatever. He wanted to be a whore, whatever it is, why? I've never asked my dad. My dad will probably hear this. I'm 30 years old. I got 4 kids. He's got 5 children himself. And I've always told myself I would never do what he did to us and the other children to my children. Never show my kids what I grew up with in the home with my mother and all of her boyfriends and all the times of the struggles, the drunk fights, the cops. I never wanted my kids to see that. And that's the reasoning and the person I am today is because it's enduring all that stuff. And that will not be shown to my kids.
And you've always told yourself that. Have you told your dad that?
No. 30 years old, like I said, never really talked to my parents about certain things. Like my wife said, there's times where you need to talk, and it's like, I'm a man. I can't. Daniel Boyer can't talk. People watching this, they're like, he ain't gonna talk. I can't. But like my wife said, she goes, you can tell by looking at you, just looking in your eyes, that you have questions, that you have answers that go along with your father. And you need to be heard. You need to ask those questions. And this was probably like a year ago, and I was just like, man. Who do I talk to? What do I talk about? What answers is he going to give me? Is he going to give the answers that I want? There's so many years between me and my dad. My dad was around. I talked to my dad on the phone. I went and seen him. There's times where there's big gaps where I didn't see him. Mom's like, you know what? You don't want to come up here 3 hours north to see your kids? I'm not bringing them down there. Was my mom being petty? Probably. I mean, come on now. I mean, if you want the other parent to see the child, even though they don't want to work on it, you should try to at least meet them in the middle. As long as there's not a bad factor involved, drugs, stuff like that. But like not having the money, my dad living in the same home his whole life over the last 30 years. I remember my dad living in the same house he lives in now when I was a kid. Always getting flooded. My dad's lived there for his whole life. Like my dad has like a lot. So like you can't really take much from him. So I mean, like I said, just growing up, I've been confused to ask stuff about my dad towards him. Will it come time? It probably will after this, where, one of my family members would be like, hey, what's going on? Like, why ain't you talk? Blah, 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 blah. Well, like I said, I don't want to talk. If I start talking about things, you might tell me stuff I don't want to hear. You might say this, and that. Well, that's just one side. Everybody knows there's 2 sides to every story. And I don't just want to hear one. I want to hear them both, and I want to hear them both together at the same time. So I can look at you guys and figure out who's telling me what. Vibes are a motherfucker. Like I said, I'm a dad of 5. I'm a dad of 4. Would it be a dad of 5? Excuse me. But we lost one. But vibes are a motherfucker. You get me in a room full of people that make money, and I'll shut up and I'll listen. And I can tell what's going on. You get me in a room full of snakes, people who talk shit on other people, dude talking shit to this dude talking shit to this dude, but they don't know. I can feel it, and I'll say something, and I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. Like, so what? I'll see you. I'm gone. But I just, like I said, vibes, man. That's just a big thing. I don't want to open up to nobody. you know, like I don't feel like they'll understand where I'm coming from because they had it a different way than I had it. So like I said, most of the time I just kept quiet and sheltered my life.
What makes a man to you?
If you'd asked me before, I'd probably mention, being a father, even if you can't be a father, I understand that, taking care of your responsibilities. But now that I'm 30 years old, the first answer that I would tell you is being a father and Jesus Christ. I'm trying more and more in my life to understand that he's there. And it makes my life easier, makes me feel better. And then I would say your responsibilities in life come after that. Money don't make you a man. Being tough don't make you a man. For real, those are the only two things I would say now. As being 30 years old, being a man is believing in following Jesus Christ and taking care of your responsibilities, whether it be your kids, your house, your bills, your significant other, family. That's my definition of a man.
When was the first time you felt like you really took up responsibility in your life?
There's multiple scenarios. I remember, I want to say it was back in like 2014, 2015. A buddy of mine, Josh Taylor, who's passed away now, got him tattooed on me. We came home from baseball practice one night. I'm a real big baseball player. I played in high school. Went and played Metro College League. I got told that the Gateway Grizzlies to go to college to come back and play. And it's like, no, I'm here. Let me play. Go to college. College wasn't for me. But anyways, we were out playing baseball at practice. We came home one night. My mom told me that the man that she married, his name was John, that he was drunk and he was raging. Me being 16, 17, I think about 16, 17 years old. We rushed home. Me and my best friend rushed home. Dude ended up being down the street, so we ended up pulling up to the house, going inside. And I remember seeing, growing up, hearing all the stories, and then seeing it as well. Seeing, my mom's boyfriends getting drunk, them fighting, them beating her, and I'm just a kid. I can't do nothing. Just sit there and fucking watch the shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, can't call the cops. Not really much phones back in the fucking 90s. Just seeing the shit, like I wasn't going to see it again. So I looked at my buddy Josh and, and my mom, and, she was like, lock that door. He's going to bust that door down. And we heard the truck pull up and wiggle on the door. And we just brought our bags of baseball stuff in. And mind you not, we're in high school. We got drop 3. Those are heavy fucking bats. I pulled one out. I fucking spun it up. I threw it at my buddy, and then I pulled one out. I said, on the count of 3, we're going to open this fucking door. And my mom was begging, no. And when we opened that door, thank God he wasn't there. That dude was going to get cracked. We came outside. He smashed my best friend's windshield in with the big old center block. Drove my truck off into the ditch. Luckily, I think we got home in time because he was going to come in that home and get my mom. I think from that moment, I told myself, like, you gotta step over everything, no matter what it is. Yeah, my brother was there, but I think my brother was off in his own little thing. My brother's 3 years older than me, so he was off doing his own thing. So I was really one around the house a lot. So I had to, step up. If he was coming through that door, he was gonna get cracked for 2 bats. And I hate to say it, but my buddy Josh's dad, Brian Taylor, if he hears this, he's gonna be like, yeah, he came to that house. He came to our house, and my mom was begging him, please don't kill him, please don't kill him. Brian grew up a rough life. You don't come at his son. You don't come at a man's son, this and that, let alone, I think he looks at me like a son as well. He showed up ready to do some business. Luckily dude wasn't around. Dude got arrested, but like I said, from that moment on, man, I was ready to face whatever God had to throw at me. At that time, it wasn't God. I was ready to face whatever the world threw at me at a young kid. But I was tired of seeing it, and I wasn't going to fucking see the shit again. And I wasn't going to see it anymore. And whether I got my ass beat 10,000 times, whether I had 10 of my friends over there, it wasn't happening. I was tired, and I was hurting seeing that stuff. Watching my mom hurt, watching my mom cry, swollen, cops all the time. Like, people probably thought of me as a kid growing up, like, oh, there's Danny Boyer from the trailer park. The cops were at his house last night. They were. I mean, what can I tell you? My mom, her dudes like to drink. You know, two people like to drink. They're hard-headed. You know, my mom's an alpha. Not many females out there are alphas. You know, when I say alpha, I mean, yeah, a lot of women are women, but they're not alpha women. They're just at the top, very top. You know, may not have the looks, may not be the most beautiful woman in the world, but they're alpha. You know, so that's my mom, man.
Did you look up to your mom, or do you look up to your mom now?
I mean, man, growing up was different than it is now, and a lot of people could agree with me. This would be a topic that's never been said or hasn't really been talked about, because I don't like bringing it up. It might, cause a fight with my mom. It's just, yeah, I look up to my mom, but there's some things that have changed her from the woman she was to the woman she is now, and I'm not too fond of it.
Like what?
She's not alpha. That alpha has erased. It's like, yeah, she's there, but like, where's my mom? Where's alpha? Yeah, my mom lives 3 hours south, bro. Ever since ever since my brother had his battles with his ex-wife and losing custody of the kids, my nieces and my nephew, it's kind of been like a dark shadow in that area of my mom, and I'm sorry, Mom, but I mean, that's the truth. People ask me, are you okay? And, where's your mom? This, and that. Like, that's not the lady that we seen 20 years ago. The lady we seen 20 years ago would go out there and fight a man immediately. But, I watched my mom beat up dudes. I love mom over the dudes' foreheads from her rings. I watched it. I've seen it. But I've also seen my mom get rocked, But at the end of the day, it's my mom. I love her to death. But I wish, she could go back to the woman she was. Stop chasing love. You have love. Just open your eyes. When you chase love, you tend to forget about everything else in life. And when you forget about everything else in life, everything fades. What do I mean by that? Am I walking away? No. Fading means the picture's still there. It's just the wind's blowing. Will the picture come back? Yes, it could. Will it come back? Do I want it to come back? Yes. But you have to stop everything you're doing right now and go back to the woman you were. If you don't do that, that picture will fade. And I hate to say it, but my kids, man, like, for the longest time, they didn't know. I show her a picture of my mom. They didn't know her. They know her now. They see her now. They love her to death. Always want to see her. But what's every 4 or 5 months? Every 6 months, 7 months? Phone call every 2 weeks. Yeah, I can call her. Why don't I? Because the phone works both ways. It's the situations that we're going through, like, I could probably go through my phone right now, bro, and I could pull up my call log. No bullshit, and show the camera. Literally. Been over 3 weeks. 4 weeks since I talked to her. And she's talked to my kids. Does it hurt? Fuck yeah, it does. But at the end of the day, if my kids ask why, I tell them. She's stuck. No drugs, I don't think. Stuck on that dude. Stuck on her previous losing the kids because of my brother and his problem with his wife. Ex-wife, excuse me. Wish he could just change, bro. on I mean, maybe she will, maybe she won't. If she doesn't, like I said, it's going to fade, bro. It's going to fade. People think my aunt is my mom. Yeah. Last time I talked to her, I called her April 27th. I told her I got stitches. Before that, outgoing call November 1st. Everything is like it's on Facebook. So, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody sees it, bro. I'm just like sitting here speaking out of my ass. People see it. People see the lopsided love certain people get. My brother and his kids versus mine and my kids. That's why I'm up in St. Louis, bro. Everybody's down there. I'm up here. I don't want to be around that. I want to be up here making money. Being around my kids, teaching my kids the right. Like, my kids ain't got to hug you because you're family. The fuck? You could be a pedo, man. Like, you could be a chum, whatever. Bad person. Hug him because that's your cousin. No. That don't get taught in my house, brother. I promise you. You only hug him unless you want to hug him or her. Unless you love him or her. You ain't got to because your aunt, your uncle, your grandma. Not many people say that. A lot of people say, no, it's your family. I understand blood's family. But when your kid don't know somebody, you can't push it on them, bro. That's a no-no. At least in my book. Kids come first in my life, man. If you had kids and I'm standing in line, you want something to eat, your kid's eating, bro. Mine ain't. Or I'm not. I'll eat afterwards, but go ahead, kids. I'll go find my food.
What makes a good father?
Man. See, like, I wouldn't even want to give an answer to that. I mean, I will. There's just times where I don't put myself in that category. But looking at my kids, before I explain the situation, but looking at my kids, I can tell by what they're wearing. Doesn't matter if it's name brand or not. They got clothes on, they got shoes, they got socks, they got food on the table. They got a bunch of food. A lot of food I like to eat. A lot of snacks, a lot of bullshit. They wake up every morning, they go to school. They tell me and my fiance they love me. So back to the original question. What was the original question? What's it? One more time.
Makes a good father?
All of those attributes would be my main goals. What makes a good father is make sure you have clothes, food, and a roof over your children's heads. Not being selfish and making activities for yourself. Cough, cough, hint, hint, me. I got a fight coming up. You have to set everything aside and have to focus on your kids. People can get on Facebook and take pictures and say, oh, this is my kid. Look at my baby. And they get likes. We knew what she was doing 20 minutes ago on OnlyFans. I ain't dogging on nobody that you make your money. That is what it is. But you're also pushing your kids off to people. You know what I'm saying? But you got to take care of your kids, man. You got to work. It sucks. I don't want to get up every day and go to work on the roof. Being a good father is waking up every day, going to work, providing for their clothes, food, and shelter, like I was stating. And at the end of the day, every night coming home to your homestead. Yeah, you're a man if you go, or a good father if you go everywhere else. You stay at a hotel and this and that, whatever. But when you're working locally and every night you come home, you don't go off with your friends. That ain't a good father. Yeah, you have those times, but being a good father is coming home with working all day, get your money, get paid, go home. Ain't nothing good out in that world for you. Ain't nothing. Good friends, those are cool, yes, but ain't nothing else outside that good friends. Those good friends is good for you out there. Go home. Be a good dad. Let your kids wake up and see you. That's my worst fear. Them waking up and I'm not there. I always want to go home. Go home, rush home. That's my big thing, dude. Off work, I go home. We'll be ready to go home. All right, let's go home. After training, all right, I'm going home. I hate to stop. I want to go straight home. things happen when you go to A, B, and C, and D. If you go straight to B, you're good. So that might be my definition of being a good father.
Why'd you say you wouldn't want to put yourself in that category?
Man, I grew up piss poor, bro. Piss fucking poor. And some people don't believe me. And when I tell you piss poor, like I said, I've already discussed earlier things that I've went through and experienced. Man, there's times where, you go to school and you can't, there's times I couldn't get food at school. And my mom would raise knipshits. I would say, fuck, man. Just a couple of them. Ask me it one more time, and I'm going to answer the first thing that comes right to my head.
Okay.
As soon as you say it, I'm going with it.
Okay.
Go.
When I asked you what makes a good father, you said you didn't want to put yourself in that category.
Like I said, when I grew up poor. Okay, so there's times in life I've made bad decisions. Not a lot of people know. I've got my family evicted out of a place before. Is it cool to talk about? Fuck no, dude. Fuck no. But I thought it was right. Them not fixing the things that was wrong at my house. Meaning you go flip on the garbage disposal, the fucking front porch light would come on. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? I mean, I ran an extension cord downstairs or from upstairs to keep my fridge warm, to keep my fridge going. And this is when my oldest daughter was a few months old, bro. And everything, it started then, and everything I went through started coming back. Like, I promised not to do this shit with my kids. No. I battled. I had the dude's son come. I had a fire community come and check, and had 14 failures on the house. So I called my landlord. Was like, "You're coming to fix these. I ain't paying you." Well, they came and fixed some of the stuff. They come and rigged it. At the time, I'm a big marijuana advocate. And it was illegal at the time. And I had a bong in my fucking laundry room, bro. Dude went snooping. Fucking opened up a big trash bag. Fucking 28-inch fucking bong. Took pictures of it. When we went to court, I had all my documentation. I'm ready. I felt like King Tut, bro. Fucking flopped it on the table. Showed my pictures. Dude had one picture of a bong. And being in someone's home, you can't have paraphernalia. And you're renting. I lost immediately, man. I got garnished like fucking $3,700. I recently just ended up getting it done, paid off. But it started there, being evicted, losing multiple jobs. I lost my last car's transmission fucked up, and I was paying on a brand new car. I told him, come get it. It's on my debt. Losing a car, not having a house, I'd say, for my kids yet. I guess I got 4 kids, man. Do I have a home? Yes. I own my home. I own a fairly nice size mobile home. I just don't have a big yard. I don't have a playground set for them. Are they happy? Yeah. Fuck yeah. They love me to death. But like I said, I get to myself, man. I'm a man. I don't credit myself a lot, and I know a lot of people do credit me, and I thank them for that. There's just times where, bro, I feel like the piece of shit dad, the world's worst dad. Seeing all these kids do this, seeing all these kids do that. Go to the ocean and do all this other stuff. So like, that's what kicked me into gear to start my fucking business. I'm seeing all these guys doing all this stuff with all this fucking money. Does money change people? Probably. I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm thinking about how I can make myself feel better, provide more. So I started my own business, man, so I can kick majority of the feelings away, the way I feel about being a father and how I feel like I'm kind of shitty. Is it wrong of me to think like that? Probably. I'm sorry, but that's me, man. I see what everybody's got. Fucking Ferrari. Here I pull up with a fucking Honda Civic. Fucking fat ass muffler, just thinking it's cool. But like I said, man, my kids are happy. So at the end of the day, when I think I'm a piece of fuck, I look at Julian, I look at Adelie, I look at Briley, and I look at Crew, and I know I did right. Like, with tears in my eyes, I know I did it, so like, I know I'm not a bad dad. So at times I need to credit myself, but I don't, and I wish I would. Maybe it'll happen more and more as I get older, but that's why I don't feel, I feel like sometimes if I fail, man, some weeks make $300 because of the rain rained all week. What do? I can't work outside. It's raining. It's like, fuck, well, you gotta figure out something, man. Go to work, call somebody for inside work, do something, times like that is more reasons why I feel like a piece of fuck, stop being at home. Like, if I get at home, I get in my head. When I get in my head, bro, it's over. Like, no depression shit or nothing like that, but I'm a fucking critical thinker. Like, I'll sit there and just think, and then times it with overthinking. And I'm just like, fuck, time to fucking smoke a bowl or something just to chill out. I don't know, man. Like I said, that's a lot of my times I'm in my head. I just don't ever really have anybody to talk to, and I would talk to people. Like I said, I'm here with you. Yeah, that would be why.
If your kids were to describe you, what they think of you, what do you think they would say?
Baby Crew. He's a baby. He's 6 months old. Nothing but giggles, smiles. He probably thinks I'm the funniest thing in the world. And he's probably the happiest baby I've ever seen in my entire life. Man, my boy Julian.
How old is he?
Julian's 3. He's got a little bit of a speech problem. It's my hijo. That means son in Spanish. I always call him my hijo. I don't say nothing else. He's quiet, man. Just in the tablet, Roblox. Wants to play Ben. I really couldn't. I mean, dude loves me to death. I know he does. He's just on his own little world, man. I really wouldn't, like, if you were to sit him down today, if you ask him, like, if he would say anything about Dad, probably wouldn't. But every time I walk in the room, like, a little turd comes running towards me, bro. Like, it's like one of the best things ever. Like, when I come home from work, and I walk in that door, and all I hear is, Daddy, and I just see him come running across the kitchen and into the living room. My girls, man, they're firecrackers, bro. Adelie, she's a heathen. She's me-made all over, bro. I'm telling you. Anyone can agree. She's a firecracker. She's spontaneous, man. She is 4 years old. She was a Thanksgiving baby every 6 years. She's born on Thanksgiving. I would say she would call me very funny. Those are the words that she knows. She would just call me funny. And I'm a very lovable person. I don't think she would go any more detailed than that. Now my oldest, my mini, looks just like me, man. She fights. She wants to be like Dad. Like, I told her today I was going to go do a roof because I didn't want her to want to go, and come here and be in here and be all, because I figured you probably wouldn't care, but I'm just trying to remember my daughter in here and hear a bunch of sounds kick in and noises. She's like, Dad, I want to go. I've never roofed before. I want to learn. And I was like, shit, kid. So, man, she'll tell me I'm the best fighter. She'll tell me I'm the best dad. Adelie will tell me that. But her words, her vocabulary is not such big as a 6-year-old, my daughter, Briley. Like I said, she's just,
she'll say I'm the best at everything, man. She loves me. You know, he loves my mom. He loves us. He's the best dad ever. Because you know, there's things where I got posters, man. They write. She writes at school and says, you know, I love my dad because he's the best dad. My dad loves me because I love him. You know, just the thing. So, man, my kids, bro. I think at the end of the day, if my kids could communicate like we're doing now, my kids would tell you I'm a hardworking motherfucker, and if they could cuss, they'd say it. Because they know, they always see I'm gone. We're always outside working at the house, always doing garden stuff, whatever, you know, side jobs, work, training, whatever, teaching, because I teach as well. They'd call me a hardworking motherfucker. That's probably very weak on emotions. They'd probably tell you that too, if they got the chance. Probably that's what I'd tell you.
We have our health and our relationships, and those are probably the two most important things that we can possibly have, whether it's a relationship with people, yourself, with God. What was your health like growing up? What was your relationships like growing up? You mentioned to me that you had some things going on with your body from a young age.
Man, a lot of people don't know. You look at me and you're like, dude, this dude's fucking jacked. You know, yeah, sure I'm fit. You know, there's a reasoning behind that. When I was born with bilateral clubbed feet. And when you do the video, you upload the picture here, you'll put the picture, you'll see. So instead of my feet being born normal, my feet were bent down to my heel, top to bottom, and they were curved in like a club. Like I had clubs as a feet. Okay, so I'm multiple surgeries. They cut my Achilles and it slid up. My calf muscles don't start until 3/4 way up my leg. Your guys' calf muscles start over halfway, somewhere around halfway. I was basically told, man, like, you ain't gonna run. You're not gonna be kicking. You're not gonna be doing all this. So growing up, man, Mom, I hate you for it, but I love you. You wanted what was best for me, but I wish you never told me like I couldn't do things because of my legs. My brother was born with one clubbed foot, by the way. I was born with both. So growing up, I just really couldn't. You ain't gonna do it. Your legs. You know, and surgeries this, surgeries that. Feet hurt, feet and calves. Learning how to walk again. My mom's got pictures of me at like 13 months old, 14 months old, bro, holding myself up on the fucking rings at the park. And like I tell people these stories, and they just look at me like I'm fucking stupid and I'm lying. It's like, dude, my mom's got pictures of me, bro, cast on my feet. I'm holding myself up. I'm talking 13, 14 months old, holding myself up on a fucking rings at the park as a baby. You can't do that. That's all I had was my upper body. You know, one of my close mentors, my Uncle Glenn, always told me, man, boy, you used to climb up them dressers quicker and shit. You know, and using your arms. And they'd all hold me on their arms. I just crawl all over them, my upper body. I got picked on a lot, man. Did I do bullying too? Of course. I ain't gonna sit here and say I got fucking picked on and motherfuckers were bullying me and this and that. They made fun of me. They called me chicken legs. You know, once I started hearing that more and more, man, what could I do to stop that? I started working out more. I started getting bigger. You know, my family's bigger. You know, all the boys are fucking jacked just like me. They line us all up. But I'm the only motherfucker that had the bad feet besides my brother. Bad foot. But I started working out, man. They started to leave me the fuck alone. My mom was the type to tell people, you know, hey, if someone says something to you like that, fucking crack them. Multiple times where people said something about you chicken legs this and chicken legs that, steroids, I hit them. You know, in school, got in trouble, fought over it multiple times. Man, once I started getting bigger, motherfuckers started leaving me alone. You know, and then that's when it really started to get into, oh, he's on steroids. So I went from chicken legs to steroids. You know, motherfucker, I was born with bilateral club feet. I'm glad I'm walking. Oh, fuck fuck the steroids, and then, like I said, man, I picked up sports halfway through my life, and it excelled from there, bro. I became a fucking happy kid, the happiest kid ever, going to play sports. But I also, not be able to play those sports on top of it being poor. My mother never paid for my sports, bro. I played for some fucking pro athletes. Kurt Ford, Lonnie Macklin. I played for St. Louis Sting. I played for the Recruits. Todd Stein pitched for the Diamondbacks. I played for all these big David Wiggins. I played for all these big teams, man. I didn't have fucking money. That's one of the main things besides being bad feet. They run miles and miles and miles and miles. I can't. I run 2 and I'm gonna be in the back with Albert. I had Albert back here. We're hanging out. We're all go together. We're gonna talk to each other the whole time. Sorry, that's just what it is. I'm not a long distance runner. My feet don't let me do that. If I do that the next day, I can't go to work. My job is, man, I'm a roofer. I'm on the fucking roofs. Anywhere from 4s to 12s to 15s. I got to use my feet, So, man, they told me I wasn't be able to do this shit. Man, God's real, bro. God's real.
How did you overcome that? What was going through your mind to push you through those adversities?
Man. Like I said, growing up, playing ball and stuff, the parents that were around, Patty Bennett, my buddy Austin Bennett's mom, his dad, his uncles, Dean and his dad Kevin, and there's a bunch of other dads involved. Mr. O'Keefe, I want to name all these guys off, Mr. Youngwalter. I want to name all these people off, but they all know who they are. They helped me, and told me basically, don't worry about, the money. Don't worry about your legs. You'll be all right. Like, we got you. Like, you got talent. Let's push this shit. And, and then, like I said, a lot of the shit I grew up with, a lot of those hard fucking times I dealt with running fucking miles with Kurt Ford, bro, Cardinals player and Phillies player. I'm talking, hit a hard ground ball to a fucking 7th grader. Fumble it. 10 laps, go. And I mean, it made me who I am, suck the shit up. Life ain't fair. Get it done, and like I said, it's still having those people around me, man, helped me a lot. I always thank them on Facebook. Please don't stop. I do the things that you guys did to me. I'm doing that now to the younger generation. All the dads, bro. I couldn't go. I told them I couldn't play one yet. I get the money. Could use my legs. They all know my legs are good when I'm older. Now they know I can play, and they want me to play. I can't play. Mom, I got the money. Mom told me no. I messaged dude like, hey, man, I ain't got the money. Don't worry, my dad's got you. You know how many times I've heard that? Probably heard it more times than you'd probably imagine, bro. I look back at it now. Like I said, those people helped me. If it wasn't the people, I probably would have never thought I could play sports. Fuck, I thought we've poured my whole life, never coming out of this position. But I want to thank those people, because without those people, I would have never done the shit.
What has been your greatest adversity in life?
Adversity as in, what
has challenged you to your max?
Man, I ain't good with words. I just like to work. I like to be a dad. The biggest adversity, man. I'm thinking it right, bro. Shit, I'd like to get a shout out to all the teachers that thought I'd be in prison or dead. I used to fight a lot, man. I've heard multiple teachers tell me, I figured you'd be in prison. I went back and told all my teachers I was sorry for all the shit I did in high school. But not many people done that. Every single teacher told them I was sorry. That would be my biggest adversity. Them thinking this and thinking that and having the thoughts. Here I am trying to get my business degree, my business going, which I'm getting it going. I'm going to look back in 5 years and ask them how they're doing now. I'm not trying to talk shit or nothing, but, it's That's what you get for putting me in a category. And that would be my biggest adversities, showing them that I ain't that guy. You know, I wasn't that kid. I was that kid, but I'm not that guy growing up.
A lot of people probably wouldn't go back and apologize to their teachers. What in you made you think to do that?
Man, bro. Like I said, I got my business. This is before I did. I even thought about opening up my own business. I started fighting. I wanted to spread the word. All these teachers knew I could fight, bro. Like, oh God, boyers in the hallway getting ready to get in a fight. They know shit's going down. Like, I wanted to go back, man, and just make ends meet. Because I know my kids, some of these teachers were young. And if my kids are going to be there, there's that fucking asshole's kids. Man, that looks just like his fucking dad. Doing the same shit his fucking dad did. But no, man. I don't want people to have bad rep about me. And it's kind of funny for me saying that. 'Cause usually I'd tell you I wouldn't care what someone says. But at the end of the day, man, like I kind of do. Like, you know, like I'm not that guy. Don't, please, like let me reintroduce myself, as PD would say. You know, let me show you who I really am. Not some clown kid in fucking class thought he was cool because some fucking chick over there thought it was funny. You know, I was trying to get a piece of ass on it. Whatever though, you know, back in my high school thought, that's what I thought about in high school. I didn't think about nothing else. Sorry, babe. Yeah, man, I don't want people to have bad thoughts about me, dog. Like, when I leave somewhere, I don't want to be like, that dude's a fucking idiot. Because when I leave somewhere, I'm not going to go tell somebody that guy's a fucking idiot. I don't want someone to do something to me that I wouldn't do to them. You know, I don't want them to do to me. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I wouldn't do something to them that I wouldn't want them to do to me. But sometimes people are idiots, yes. But, you know, I just wouldn't go and antagonize and be a direct, you know, just people are idiots.
And so there's a whole lot to your life that we could probably sit here and talk about for 2 days straight. But, well, first of all, what's your company called?
Boyer Roofing.
Boyer Roofing?
Yes, sir.
What areas do you work in?
Greater Midwest, man. Like I said, I got 4 kids. I got a couple crews. I'm determined to work, you know, whether it would be a 1-man job, whether it be a 10-man job, whether it be soffit, fascia, gutters, siding, shingles, flat, residential, commercial. Call my phone, 636-212-5721. Get your free estimate.
When did you start this business?
Man, I've been doing side work for years and years. Like I said, watching all these guys that I worked for making all this fucking money, the work that I'm doing that I'm pretty good at, trips to oceans, fucking basketball fucking games, football games, traveling across, man, I want all that. So I was like, you know what, man, I could get a couple guys. I got a good group of guys. Shout out to my boys. And we like to work, man. And we like to give customers a good price. Obviously we don't have no overheads. There's nobody over my head that's saying, oh, I need that $5,000 extra. No, there ain't nobody over my head. So if you guys don't want to pay fucking $20,000 for a shingle roof, $17,000, I'm your go-to. You know, you get the same quality work, you get the same warranties. You gotta quit supporting those big people. You gotta support those small businesses, local businesses, someone who would support you versus someone who don't give a fuck about you. You know, you make a post and tag about my business on Facebook. If I don't know you, I'm going to share it, especially if it's good about my business. You tag Walmart, you tag Lowe's, you know, you whatever. They ain't doing nothing for you. You're just a peon. So, I mean, like I said, man, I just wanted to take care of people, give people good quality work, make some money for my kids. I want a nice house, man. I want something like the studio here, you know. Instead of be a studio, I want a little man cave with all my autographs, you know. Kids don't come in here. His dad's room, you know. Other than that, I got kids coming to my room every day now. Just wait to get my own room, you know. business be booming, life would be so amazing, you know, get up there with everybody else. And, you know, like I said, you know, does money change people? Yes, it probably does, but I'm not worried about that because I know what's in front of me. I'm just doing it for my kids. I'm not building it for me. You know, I had nobody build nothing for me. Nothing, bro. You want something? Shit, yeah, what is it? Here, smack on your fucking mouth. Get on about your day, you're in trouble. That's all I got ever. You know, no hand-me-downs, no money in a will, no fat ass house handed down to me, no business handed down to me. Started from the bottom, man.
So when did you meet your dad for the first time?
Man, my mom was with my dad. They broke up. Like I said, man, my dad was a hoe. Sorry, Dad. You're a boy, you're a dude. My mom and my dad had a little tangle. They broke up. My dad got with someone else and had my brother Isaac. And then I guess they had a little falling out. My dad went back with my mom. And then that's when my mom had me. So, I mean, I've known my dad my whole life. It's just more or less, if I were to tally up how many times I've been around him, how many days would it be? It couldn't fit a full year. I'm 30. That's one of 30. There's still 29 other years left. He can't fit one. Being down where he's from, you know, being older, not being able to work, you know, and not be able to make a bunch of fucking money to do things in society nowadays. I understand, you know, but yeah, he's been around my whole life. He'd been down there. Never went anywhere. Been in the same home since shit I can remember.
Do you feel like you missed out on something, or did you have enough mentors to fill that hole?
I mean, like I said, people can look at me and just tell, you know, there's just issues, like, hate to say it, but like you look at a woman, you're like, man, she's got daddy issues, bad, and like you can tell. I guess that role's flipped on me. And I never really looked at it like that because I'm a man. I just never really looked at it like that, but that's the role you want to put on me. I guess you could say, you know, I had father issues growing up. Like I said, you know, certain things I don't know how to do, you know, working with vehicles and stuff like that. I'm not smart. You know, I could have learned that with my dad, probably. Could have learned other things by my dad, probably. Would I be here if my dad was in the picture? Probably not. What he didn't do, other guys did. Other men just like him, but he didn't do it.
Following Jesus and following God and picking up responsibilities are what you defined as a man. What keeps someone from being a man outside of those two things?
Well, if you're a father, not taking care of your fucking kids, start with that one. And then we'll go back to the guys who don't have kids. Now add them both together, kids, no kids. Taking care of your responsibilities, man. You know, taking care of your neighbor, you know, walking down, you know, walking up to your house, you know, seeing your broom fell, I picked it up. Maybe your neighbor fucking walk over and or step on it. That's some shit. Dude got a cigarette butt in his hand, walk by your house, and just fuck shit in your yard. You know, disrespect. That's what I would fall that into. Disrespect would be the next thing. It'd be keep it from being a man. I don't care if you're fucking 4 years old. If you're disrespectful to women, to kids, even our man, you ain't a man. Like, you're just, no. You're like, calm down. Man, if you're I hate to say it, but man, if you have an addiction, you have to kick it. You have to kick it. Are you a man before? Yes. Are you a man after or not? If you don't kick it, yes. Being a real big man or woman would be a big role in kicking that nasty addiction to the curb. And if you don't kick it to the curb, then I wouldn't call you a definition of a good man. But are you a bad person? No. It's just, you're not making good decisions, you know? Like I said, man, being evil, disrespectful, all that, just that would be the main word. I'd say evil, and it closes the whole fucking category. Evil has the topics, the topic's real big, so you can throw whatever you want in there, you know, it's gonna say it's evil, disrespectful, everything, man. Just a little devil child, devil person, you know. Like, you got fucking Satan on your back, and so you're not a man, you know. Like I said, I'm not worshiping, you know, God and praising God like that, because I'm not there yet. I don't know if I will get there, but I see that light, and it's shining, and my fucking hand's reaching for that end of that light. But that would be my definition of keeping people from being a man or a woman. The evilness around all the whole topic of evil. Disrespectful would be the second word, and I would just leave it at that. Disrespectful and evil. Evil. You're a bad person. Evil, greedy. That's evil. Part of evil. You know, there's a lot of words. I could just pick 1,000 words, and those words would just right back to evil. You know, I mean, just do you, man. Wake up every day. Don't worry about what everybody else got to say. Do you? I know it's funny me saying that, like I said, 'cause I think about what people say or think. But just put one foot in front of the other, you know. Go to your work, go home, take care of your family. You wouldn't have to worry about what somebody got to say if you're a good man or not. You know what I mean? That's what I'd say. That's how I'd close that out right there.
You said you're reaching for that light. What could get you to that light?
Man, a lot of people tell me being a follower, you know, just stop and listen to God. You'll feel it. You'll find it. I never really did that. They tell me Jesus this and Jesus that, and I just close the book, push them off to the side, quit that fucking shit. I don't want to fucking hear it. But when I catch myself by myself, man, and you know, and I'm having bad times, you know, upsetting times, I feel the faith. And I feel it. Like, call it fucking goosebumps, coincidences, whatever y'all want to call it, the non-believers, but there's something fucking there, man. And so I know the more and more I just open my ears a little bit more to each person that I close the book to, just keep it open a little bit more. Close it, but don't close it all the way. Don't let them go so far in topic and this and that. That's what loses me in the topic of God. When you start going into this and that and this and that and this and that. No, stop. Slow down, and let's just chat. Don't try to teach me. We chat. Let me ask questions. Don't try to just fucking talk. That's what I mean by reaching by the light. Like, man, I see what people talk about. You go to this Christian church and you go to this Christian church. This dude talks bad about this dude or this church. Why? You guys are both Christian. So that kept me from a lot of the times of believing in God, you know, and asking myself, like, for instance, do you believe in unicorns? No. Why do you believe in God? You never seen them, right? You never seen a unicorn. You're right. But when I'm upset and I pray, it's a different feeling. And it's the truth. Like, a lot of people be like, what the fuck are you talking about, Danny? You would never say that. Vibes are a motherfucker, bro. Telling you, like, you can feel the shit. And that's what I gotta do. I gotta start looking into it more so I can start feeling those vibes more. And that the vibes, I mean faith. Because it's faith. You know? And I have faith that I can find it. If I just say, fuck it, you know, what about my kids, man? They gotta learn. Do I teach them what I think I should teach? No. That, man. Let them kids grow up, learn that stuff. I didn't learn it. Did my mom send me every once in a while? Yeah, probably. She did. Church, school, on Sunday, hanging out with the kids, getting free food. I've done that. Hell, didn't really want to be around the house. Didn't want to sit in a hot house trailer all day growing up. You know, I'm going to go to church school on a Sunday. But if I would have went more, I probably would be a different person, thinking about my outlook of Jesus Christ and things. But I'm trying, bro. I'm not shutting people out anymore. I'm not telling you fuck you with this and leave me alone with that shit, make believe shit. I'm not doing that anymore. I stopped that like 2-3 years ago, man. To be honest, I stopped that with my first child that we lost. Fucking back in 2015. Me and my wife lost our first baby. I cussed at him. I said, fuck you. Take my life. Why'd you take my baby? Like typical things a person would say. And I just hated the fucking world. I hated him. Couple weeks went by, and started kicking in. He started letting me know, like, your feelings will go away. And, whether people call it, oh, you're just living your life, you're moving on, whether you call it that or not, I'm taking it as dude was fucking telling me, like, your life will go on. Like, you got power, and then boom, I was blessed with my daughter, and at the end of the day, it's my rainbow baby. And like I said, I just started the kick in the fucking, believing in there's God, everything's not so gloomy, sad. Fuck that, there's better days, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if not, I'm going to sit here and not want to go to work. And so reaching for the light, I'd have to open up a lot for people listening to what they got to say. Just don't go into detail, please. Don't confuse me. I don't know all these big words. Don't know all these English accent, whatever whatever the verse is in, Proverbs is, whatever it's in. I'd like to know the truth, but if I knew the truth, man, I'd be dead.
Yeah, the truth doesn't necessarily need words, does it?
When I find the truth, I'll be dead. It's too late. And that's one of my favorite sayings, Whenever I want to find the truth about dinosaurs, God, life. I want to know if she cheated on me back in school. I want to, whatever. You ain't going to know that truth until it's time to go. It's too late. You can't, talk to us down here and tell us the truth, So I'm hoping that I can continue following that light, man. And hopefully my kids follow it, They ain't got to be a Bible thumper and this and that. They can be a Bible thumper. I don't give a shit. I just want them to understand, like, there is something out there, and it's very, very emotional feeling, and that's God. Like, whether you say it or not, I mean, call me an idiot, sure, I believe in it, but I really want to know the truth, though. That's why I say I'm reaching for the light. If I know the truth, I'll be there. All people say, oh, I know this, and that. I'm at the end of the line. I'm a believer. No, like, you don't know the truth yet. You're almost there. I'm right behind y'all. If that makes any sense.
It makes total sense. So we were talking earlier, you started fighting at 23 years old, 22 years old?
Yeah, so, oh man, I started boxing back in the day, realm boxing. I was like 16 years old. Started dating this little girl, just stopped fighting, ventured off into life, high school, college, whatnot, fighting in school, fighting in the streets, fighting in the front yard. My mom would be watching me fight people in the front yard and shit, dude, growing up. Gotta do something. So I met my wife back in I was 21. It was back in 2014. I was watching Jason Newman and Damian Newman and all them on Facebook, the Newman brothers, the Newman brothers, excuse me. And I was like, man, I can do that shit. These guys are just more technical. I can get down. Everybody knows it. Everybody. Yeah, ask everybody at school, hey, he can fight, blah, 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 whatever. Man, I was laying in bed one night and I was like, I could fight. And she was right there with me, my new girlfriend at the time. And man, I was blowing smoke up up her ass, trying to sound tough. And I messaged a dude on the fucking Facebook, bro, and asked for a fight. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I ended up fucking training like 3 days next week. That was it. And I fought that next week, bro. So, like, mind you not, like, I used to smoke ciggies. Shit's gross. I used to smoke ciggies.
I was smoking like a full pack on the way to the fight because I was like, I'm about to get in a fucking fight. Like, am I really doing this? Man, that was on it was on Ozzie Smith's brother, Steven Smith's showcase, Rebel Time. Rest in peace, Steven. I went down there, fought in a fucking casino, man, in front of a bunch of people, a bunch of fucking teams. I just like I like the feeling of adrenaline, man. So I told myself I was going to be done that night. I was taking a shower. I told, why was I doing this shit again? Fuck this shit. You know. She's like, honey, for real? Like, you're really going to give up? This is my new girlfriend at the time, man. You know, and I greatly appreciate everything she's done for me since this moment. Like, I'm glad she told me that day in the shower. She was like, why would you want to give up? Like, you're good at it. You got to learn to fight coming up. It's your first one. I know you can fight. Like, everybody knows you can fight from our hometown and this and that. Everyone knows. And I'm just like, yeah, but there's fucking difference between fighting in the street and fighting in the fucking cage in a ring, man. Like, can I get down? Sure. But how long can I get down before these technical, skilled fighters just start tuning me up?
Yeah.
So, you know, and the dude, the first fight I ever had, man, my first bare knuckle boxing right now, pro fighter, Josh Greshy, Marine Corps, hell of a dude. But like I said, I'm 30 years old now, man. I got about 10 fights under my belt. Is it a good record? No. For the longest time, I just took fights. Like I telling you, I took a fuck fight on Facebook, just lay down in bed. I like the feeling of adrenaline, man. My record is 3-7. If you take out some injuries and my losses, I would be about 500. Okay, and let's take those losses where I didn't really lose on just only one of them. And I'm gonna be honest, maybe two. Take my injuries out, man, and I think I'd have a pretty good record. You know, there's a couple fights that, you know, it's just I shouldn't even been in. You know, helping people out. Like I said, I'm 3-7. I fight May 27th for Stand Up Fight Series. I fight for the 142-pound belt, kickboxing belt, fighting Nuriel Henry, dude I just fought in July of last year. It's gonna be a banger, bro. I like to fight. Like I said, a lot of people tell you as well, if you train, you'll be a dog. You're already a dog, but go train. And May 27th, I'm going to show everyone how big of a dog I am and what I got. You know, I'm going to shock everybody. Is dude a better fighter than me? No. I ain't talking shit. I'm just being honest. The last fight we fought, I dropped him in the first round. Dropped him in the second round. They said it was a slip. I dropped him. Kicked me in the nuts in the third round, man. Slow the frame down. I don't care who you are. Slow that fucking frame down inch by inch. He hit my nuts, and he come up, and I started gagging and whatnot, whatever. I continued. Instead of getting my 5 minutes, I'm a man of my word. I'm getting back up and I'm fighting. I ain't gonna do that shit anymore. So, you know, that caused me not to continue. I got hot and sweaty. I told the ref I'm going to puke. They stopped the fight. Dude won. Congratulations. Dude's on a 4-fight win streak. Fucking terrorizing everybody in the Midwest. Started with me. I hate to say that, but ran through me. This fight may be my last one. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is my last one. Unless you're going to pay me some money. My kids come first. But like I said, man, that dude he beat my guy I trained with at Maryville. Beat him. Went on and TKO'd another guy right in front of me. And then took a fight 10 days later. And fucking TKO'd another dude. And it's like all these dudes, man, they're durable dudes. You know, Vince Guerin's a fucking solid motherfucker. And what do I mean by solid? You look at his record, and his record doesn't show who he is. Dude's a doctor, or, you know, he's in the doctor field, you know. Motherfucker works all day long and goes and trains the most technical fucking person, and this dude just beat him, and it's like, damn, you know, he beat one of my friends.
He went on to beat Peaches. Dude went on to beat Peaches' teammate. He beat me, beat my teammate, beat Peaches, and beat Peaches' teammate. It's time for the derailment. And I'm going to be that fucking guy. And like I said, I'm not talking shit. He's just sloppy, man. And I see right through it. It's going to get him. It's going to get him caught. And we're going to find out in 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Where did you say this fight is going to be at?
This fight is at the Casa Loma Ballroom. It's on the south side of St. Louis. It's Chippewa in Iowa, right there at the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You got all the restaurants down there. You got kids and whatnot. You got ice cream and taco joint right there, pizza joint. You got all types of places down there. It's kid friendly. They have alcohol. They have food. For the single dudes, you got the ring girls. For the single women, you got dudes up there in your shirt sweating. Come on out and show some support. Let's show everybody what Midwest kickboxing and Muay Thai has got. On top of that, let's send me out on my farewell. I'm not saying I'm done fighting. You got to give me some fucking money after this one. You fuck who you are. And if you don't want to give me money, then that's fine. I'm gonna start my business. I'm gonna go my business. I'll make some fucking money. You know what I mean? And do it that way. If not, then I'll go pro. Motherfuckers want to eat for some money. I'll eat for some money. Money's on the table. This amateur shit's just amateur shit. I'm too far in now to just stop fighting. If I get hurt, what happens at work? So if I don't get hurt, I can go to work. If I get hurt, I can't go to work. So give me some fucking money. Put some money on the table and let me fucking starch one of these clowns for a check. For my kids, man. Like, I sell some tickets, bro. I can sell some tickets.
Where can I get people get tickets at?
You go to standupfightseries.com. I got tickets on hand. All the other local fighters who are fighting on the card have tickets on hand as well. $50 starting. And obviously they go up from there. I want to say it's like 14, 15 fights. It's like 4 or 5 title fights. Man, it's a bunch of fucking studs. The promoter, Chad Mueller, the guy I like to learn from at Maryville over there. And a good person I look up to. He's talked to me a lot and helped me out in my life. He's fucking running this shit, man. All your other promoters need to step the fuck up. You guys are all fucking putting kickboxing in cages and shit. It's not how it's supposed to go down. And Chad's showing you guys why.
Why is that not how it's supposed to go down?
A cage is for MMA. For the wrestling, the humping, whatever the hell they like to do. Nothing against them, but I guess I could say a lot of those MMA guys can't come over to kickboxing, but I guess I could say the same thing about kickboxing and MMA. I'm not going to say they're dog them, but being in a cage is for MMA only. Mixed martial arts. A rope and all that, ropes and ring, that's for kickboxing, boxing. This is a fucking circus. I mean, come on now, like, a lot of these motherfuckers, promotions don't even go by the real fucking rules. Some dudes will stop a fight without giving a guy standing 8. You got a promotion over here who'll give a guy standing 8, give him like 4 or 5 of them. Then you got one promotion who'll give him 2 standing 8s and a TKO. Like, you guys need to get with Stand Up Fight Series and watch some of their shows and watch some of his fucking refs and watch how it really goes down. Like, this dude's not just promoting for money. This dude's promoting to get the best fucking fighters. Like, he knows me and my guy I'm fighting. Like, he's on a 4-fight win streak. He knows dude brings power. I bring power. Power and power together. It's just going to be a fucking explosion, and that's what he's doing a really good job at. He's not going getting these fucking clowns that are sitting on the couch who will take a fight and then they don't show up. Yeah, sometimes that happens, yes, but Chad also won't milk your fucking record. You got all these other promotions. You got dudes who are fucking 5-0, 6-0 in fucking Shamrock and all these other promotions, and then next thing you know, they go off to the next big thing and they get fucking starched. Why? Because promoters are feeding these fucking dudes fucking minnows.
and they're just fucking sucking them right up, you know. And there's fucking 10 grand in fucking ticket sales for a first round finish in 20 seconds. Fuck that. You want to see fights? Come down to Chad's show. Straight up. I'm not talking shit. I'm being honest. All stand to bang. No landing. Not one card's going to win. The whole red corner's going to win or the whole blue corner's going to win. No, it's a banger, 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 banger all the way down the card. You get your fucking money's worth. Point blank.
What do you want people to know about you? What is something we haven't talked about that you feel needs to be said?
Loyalty over royalty. Straight up. I ain't going to get into it. If you don't know, you should, no offense, look into it. You know, not necessarily you, but other people. If you don't know that meaning, look it up. And then that's what I want people to know about me.
It's a good way to end it. Daniel, thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate it, dude.
Good talking with you.